Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we had two, great presentations. And let me confirm, you guys can see my screen? Okay. So we had two great presentations on more of the techniques on being a great and effective coach. So now we're going to go to the cold side, right? I call it the cold, hard business side. And this is very important because, at the end of the day, we are running a business. So, I think coming from how to really keep you focused on your clients and give them their value, to then respecting that client relationship, and now looking at how we identify and penetrate your target market. So I think you can see the page here and you see various information about me. You guys can read that. I really want to focus in now on what I would say, is a very important and necessary aspect of every business, not just coaching. You need to understand who your clients are, who your customers are, or I should say, who your potential clients are, who your potential clients and customers are, and more importantly, where are they? So in the next 30 minutes, and Elise, I'm going to ask you to keep me honest. When we have 10 minutes left, can you just let me know? As you know, I talk a lot, so I want to make sure that I get everything in because this is, I think, is a great piece of information. And again, guys, this is not an expert at a podium speaking. This is, as Lee said, we're all peers here, right? So you're in class. I may be sharing some stuff, but if you have questions, at the end of each slide, I'll pause, ask questions. This is not just me speaking. The best thing we can do is have conversations about these things. And if you don't understand something, I'm talking too fast, let me know. So let's jump on in. Okay, so identifying and penetrating your target market. There are four key activities, and if you are a business owner, you're very familiar with these. Determining and developing your specialty, creating target client personas, identifying your target market, and networking and socializing directly to your market. If you look at the first bullet here, determine and develop coaching specialty. The coaching specialty is also called your niche, right? A lot of coaches say this is my niche. I like to say coaching specialty because you are developing specialized skills in that particular area. And a lot of coaches get very intimidated when they have to start this activity. So before we go into this first key steps, let's take a moment and talk about the importance of developing your target and client market. Now, to make sure we're on the same page as far as certain definitions, when we talk about target client, the target client is the person that will find your coaching specialty and skills helpful. If you are let's say you are a career coach, your target client are individuals who want to improve their careers. When we talk about target market, your target market is a grouping where you can find and connect with your target client. So I always say, my target client is one person. My target group is a whole bunch of that one person's together. Okay? So the golden whys on why having target clients and a target market is important. Well, the first reason is it allows you to apply your skills to a segment of the market where they are most valuable. If you're able to really identify what your skill set is and hone those skills, then you can focus on specifically that individual section of the market, because in that section of the market, most clients want to hear and are interested in what you are selling and what you are speaking about. So again, you can apply your skills to a particular segment of the market. Also, it ensures that your marketing efforts are effective. I think all of us here have underwent some sort of marketing, whether it's through WeChat, using some social media, online tools, passing out business cards. I've seen folks on the subways getting folks to sign up to their cell phone, to the WeChat, right? So it's better if you're marketing directly towards people who want to hear your message. It allows you to really be more effective. And when you're spending money marketing, it allows you to get the best bang for your buck. Also, developing a specific skill set which leads to an expertise. So again, if you're focused in on learning and improving and learning, and you're learning how to be a better coach in a particular area, at some point that will lead to expertise. There are some individuals who you can know a little about a lot, or you can know a lot about a little. So as we talk about getting into your niche area, your specialty, it's best to take the latter where you're really knowing a lot about a little bit. And here you can serve more people much more adequately. And then finally, it does allow your initial coaching conversation to be much, much more effective. And what do I mean by that? So a lot of times when we meet people, let's say we're at a barbecue or a social event, and we're having kind of a conversation with somebody. So what do you do? Well, I work and do this. Okay, what do you do? Well, I'm a coach. Oh, really? What is coaching? I can say, well, coaching is, we help people, reach their goals, dreams, and desires, and yada, 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 yada. Oh, okay, very interesting. Okay, good to meet you. Bye-bye. Right? However, if we say, yeah, you know what? I'm a communications coach. I help people who have problems communicating and developing relationships. I help them to really get over the fear of speaking in public. I help them to really be more confident in their speaking. If that person you're talking to has a fear of speaking, he may say, wow, I have that issue too. And there you go, and you're able to have a deeper conversation. So if you have 10 people in the room and they all have a particular pain point, but you don't really touch on any of them, you've lost everybody. But if you have a particular niche and find that common with at least one person there, you may then get one potential client. So you want to make sure that you do have a focused area. It allows that conversation to be much more effective. Okay, before I move on to the next slide, any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Yeah. We always met this question. What is coaching? How you explain it? Like, because every time I feel like I cannot explain, so I invite a free session, things like this.
Right. So I think, as a coach, that is one of the first questions you must be able to answer. And I say you must answer that being savvy.
Yeah.
So if I'm somewhere and we're having a conversation and somebody says, what do you do? I'll say, I'm a coach. They'll say, oh, what sport? I'll say, the sport of life. The sport of life. And that always gets a reaction, right? So you want to play that up. And when they say, well, what does the coach do? Well, we help people reach their goals, dreams, and desires. And we do that by doing this, right? By helping them understand more about what they want, validating that they truly want that, and helping them get past some of the blockers that they've had before. Because in most cases, what people are trying to achieve, before they come to a coach, they've tried to do it on their own, and they have not been able to do that. So as a coach, we help people really achieve their goals, and more importantly, get back those blockers or things, get past those things that have prevented them from getting past them in the past. And there's so many variations of how to answer that question, but it's a question you must be able to answer very cleanly and very succinctly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, great. So now, I like this picture here. When we think about developing a coaching niche, and I remember way back when I was trying to think about my niche, and a lot of coaches, when they graduate from their coaching program, they're recommended that they identify a specialty area. At that time, they have all these, I had all these different thoughts in my head. Wow, I could do this, I could do that. How about this, how about that? But more importantly, I didn't want to identify an area because I was afraid I'd miss some potential clients. If you think about when you first graduate from your program or when you first start coaching, your biggest question is, how do I get paid clients? And sometimes a coach will say, I want any paid client. Anybody who will pay me to help them, I can help anybody. Well, You probably could help anybody, but you may not be able to help them as effectively as you could if you specialize in their area. And you may get more clients if you specialize in the area. So I think this picture really sums it up great, how you start with a lot of different ideas. And as you think about and go through the process of steps I'm going to share with you, you come out with one niche area that you really want to focus in on. So the first thing you need to do is really and honestly assess and consider your current skills. What are you good at? What are some of your accomplishments professionally and personally? You know, a lot of individuals want to go into careers where they have a personal attachment, not only professional attachment. So what are some of your personal professional accomplishments, and what are you really, really good in? If you are really good in talking to people and making them feel relaxed, then coaching is something you want to consider. If you're really good at helping people to do sports, right? Helping people to improve their health. Well, you may want to be a wellness coach. So you have to ask yourself, what are your current skills? Also, what are you passionate about? What are some areas of previous and current interest? Now, I always tell folks, ask people, when you were 15 years old, what did you always want to do, right? Before you became an adult and life got to you, what did you really, really want to do? Think about that, because now you have an opportunity to perhaps specialize in an area that's related to your passion. And then, and very importantly, public sentiment. What areas are people talking about and having pain in? And this is called getting the pulse, right? Getting the pulse of the environment. If you ask questions, if you just listen to your friends, you may hear your friends and people talk about having some pains in certain areas. That lets you know that this is an area where people also may need some support and some coaching. Once you've assessed, you then want to really identify and understand what are the specific pain points that people are having. There are some individuals now that are very concerned about AI, and not the fact that AI is going to start delivering their mail for them, automatically through a robot, but more that their jobs are going to be changing. And their pain point may be they fear that they're too old to learn a new skill. So we went from people having some career issues, right, to being concerned about AI, and then their particular pain point is they fear that they're too old to learn new skills. So understanding the pain points people are having is very important. And then understanding what options do they have for assistance, right? Beyond coaching, what other avenues do they have that can help them? And then more importantly, what do personal improvements look like? If somebody is having a fear that they are beyond being retrained, find somebody who felt like that and got past that and understand what did they do to improve. What does personal improvements look like? Because you have to understand not just what the issue is, but also what does success in that area look like. Then, of course, you must evaluate and build skills. Firstly, ensure that you have the skills. I'll say it again, ensure that you have the skills. Now, you can also say that, well, I want to build skills in this area. You can build skills. You can absolutely build skills. But if you build skills, you should not be effective the first few days, the first few times. So if you're going to coach somebody, it's best to coach somebody where you have those skills as opposed to building skills. Now, you can always have one niche area, a special area, while you work on developing another. But you have to ensure you have the skills first. And of course, research and study to increase expertise in that area. You should always be looking to increase your ability to help your client. Always, always, always. Okay, so before we move on to the next slide, any questions on determining and developing your coaching specialty?
Yes, what is the first sentence? The profession. This means like before coaching, we all do various works. Like me, I'm doing marketing before.
Right.
What do you mean like by personal professional professional. Yeah.
So, for example, professional, when I worked with IBM, I was a Lean Six Sigma black belt, right? You have a lot of project managers who are PMP certified. So looking at what you've accomplished at work also, a lot of PMP certified people want to go into more entrepreneurial coaching as well. So looking at what you've actually accomplished in your personal life and also in the professional life. On the personal side, let's say you've done some marathons. If you've done some marathons, if you're very into exercise, you may be able to coach people in living a healthy life, how to eat better, how to exercise better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That's also what I'm about.
Okay. Thank you.
Colin, I have a question.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm Grace. Like you mentioned, what does the personal improvements look like? You give the question, and then can you answer more details about like the personal improvements? Like what does it look like?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me give an example. So let's say the example I want to give is you have individuals who have been trying to I'll do either one. They've been trying to improve their health, meaning they've been trying to lose weight. So understanding pain points that people are having who are trying to lose weight. Well, there can be binge eaters. They can be people eat when they're nervous, eat when they're lonely. They get people who just don't have the hard work ethic to exercise. So you can focus on the issues they're having, what's stopping them from accomplishing their goal. But you also want to look at what does an improvement look like. For individuals, for example, who are trying to lose weight, it's obvious that personal improvements are a weight loss, right? But that might not be the only improvement. The other improvement is, for example, they may no longer binge eat. When they're on the couch, having had a tough day at work, lonely, they may not eat donuts. They may not eat cake. They may not eat at midnight. They may be able to get past some of their internal issues without relying on eating bad food. And sometimes people eat to get a good feeling, right? So personal improvement it can be weight loss, right? But also the ability to not go back to that destructive behavior they had before. Does that make sense, Grace?
Yeah, it's just if something cannot be like quantified, like the weight you lose, you can evaluate it, but some feeling or like being more confident or achieve other like professional expertise like in your career, so something that you cannot evaluate by numbers. Yeah.
Correct. And sometimes you can, but if you talk to somebody who lost 20 pounds and you say, wow, how did you do that? They're going to tell you about the exercise and diet part, but I guarantee you they'll also talk about what they had to do to stop having the bad behavior. Bad behavior meaning, it's Friday, I'm on my way home, I'm going to stop in here and get some pizza, right? And that's really where you see what I call a personal improvement, because the weight loss is a result of those personal improvements. So you have to understand and be able to recognize what it means and how people will achieve that personal improvement.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great, and thank you for your question, Grace. So the next one here is to create your target client persona. Now, when we talk about our target client persona, this is really creating your typical target client. And the great thing about creating personas is they are literally a visual depiction of target client attributes. And we break this down into 4 areas: say, think, do, feel. So if a client is going through an experience or going through a pain point, when we talk about say, what do they say or need to say to others? How do they likely express themselves? And I'm going to show you guys an example in a moment. What are they thinking in their head? What do they think about the situation? How do they feel about it inside? And what are they doing? We also want to look at generating as much detail about a client as we can. So what we do here is we take this sort of blank sheet and we try to identify very detailed a typical individual person, right? We want to have their name, their gender, their age, family status, their profession, and other information. And hopefully we're able to create 2 to 3 different personas. Now, all these personas have something in common, but again, we're trying to really better identify our target client. So again, create 2 to 3 personas, then find individuals who fit this persona and ask them for feedback. Is this accurate, right? What do you say in the situation? What do you think? What do you do? And what do you feel? And then update. So let me share with you all an example. So we call this guy Sam, and Sam is an introvert. So the target client, the issue Sam is having, men and women who are not comfortable talking with others and forming relationships. So individuals, so this is the pain point this target client's having. So for our first persona, we went with a man. His name is Sam. He is 33 years old. He's single. He's an IT developer, and he's introverted, meaning he really stays by himself a lot. So again, being uncomfortable talking with others and forming relationships, what he says is, I usually make excuses to not eat lunch with my coworkers. I only talk when asked a question at work and don't share personal. In reality, I don't say much at all. Now, what's he thinking in his mind when it comes to speaking? Well, if I talk in public, people will think I don't know what I'm talking about. If I don't improve my relationship building skills, I will not get a girlfriend or a better job. And I think, you know what, I really would rather just watch video games, watch videos and play games. So this is what he thinks, this is what he says, this is what he thinks in his mind, but how does he feel? How does this issue really make him feel on the inside? Well, man, when I think about public speaking, I start sweating, just thinking about talking in public. I get so nervous when asked to join group training at work because I know I have to talk and say something. But you know what? I'm tired of feeling lonely and being miserable. So based on all this, what does he do? When Sam is not comfortable talking with others and forming relationships, what does he do on a daily basis? Well, even though I have good ideas, I just stay silent. And since I'm a loner, I stay by myself a lot and do not talk to many people. And I basically stay at home and watch videos and play games. So with this information, you all should be able to really get a better picture of what your target client looks like. Now, this is based off of doing a little bit of research. What you now want to do is go back and find people you think fit this model and interview them. Ask them questions to see what they say, think, do, feel, and then update this persona. Okay, any questions for the current slide? The client persona slide.
What is this for? Create your target clients person?
Right, so when you think about identifying who your target client is, when you create a persona, it allows you to create a visual of who your target client is. So when a lot of people, especially when people are going through some sort of pain, they have different faces. They may say one thing in public, but in their mind they're thinking something else. They may act a certain way, do certain things, and they may feel a certain way on the inside. So when you want to be very specific on who your potential client, target client is, it's best to identify who they are, right? So what we have here are descriptions or descriptors of who we feel is our target client. So we want to find people who are having, men and women who are not comfortable talking with others and forming relationships that fit this mold. Does that make sense?
It sounds like an FBI something. You analyze your target area, and I really appreciate this method. Which I want to add on is we do this maybe also change another perspective to see like they don't have any issue, like they have like a bigger dream to realize.
Right. Right. So again, so that would be another persona, right? So say your target client are individuals, right, who have a great dream they want to accomplish, but might not know how, right? And you may call that dreamer Dr.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King. I have a dream, right? You can call him whatever you want. But then you would also say, for people who have a big dream and don't know how to accomplish it, what are they saying? Well, they're saying, you know what, I have a dream. Well, they're thinking, I have a dream, but I don't know how to do it. How are they feeling? Oh, I'm starting to feel a little bad because I have a dream, I don't know how to get it. And what are they doing? Maybe they're giving up. Maybe they're talking to somebody. So again, identifying what are the attributes for people who fit that persona, because once you have those, it allows you better to identify and talk to those individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm getting short on time. So let me go into how we go about doing this. So the next step is to
17 minutes.
17? Okay. The next step is to identify your target market. So previously, let me go back here. Can I go back 1 second? Let me go back. So previously, what we're doing is identifying our target client. This is an individual. So for example, we say Sam is the profile of our target client. Again, we want to talk to people to validate this. So now we want to identify our target market. So what we'll do is we'll find individuals who fit the description of Sam, individuals who want to improve their public speaking, who want to do better job casual speaking and forming relationships. We'll interview them to understand the persona categories. Also identify, how do you find where these people are? If these people are introverts, how can we come into contact with them? And then also learn more details about specific pain points. You want to learn as much as you can about what they're trying to accomplish and what's stopping them from accomplishing that. The more you know about that, the more you can do your research on how to help them, how to reach them. So once you've identified your target persona, you then want to identify your potential interaction opportunities, right? How do you find out where individuals like Sam spend their time? So if we use the same example, individuals who are very shy and do not like public speaking and do not like even casual speaking and developing relationships. Well, you can say potentially based on interviews, based on talking to people, I want to go to some professional events. Well, that's very, very weak, right? What kind of professional event? We want to get more detailed and say, perhaps Toastmasters weekly meetings. We all know Toastmasters are a group of people who want to improve their ability to communicate. That may be where you find people who are trying to do that. Also, networking events. Networking events that's also weak is very broad. Perhaps public speaking meetup groups. Now, as you start attending these groups and going to these groups, you'll be meeting more people who are doing two things, who are stuck in trying to achieve this goal or who are actively achieving a goal. And interviewing both of these individuals will help you do what? Get more information on how to find a market toward these two groups. So this is a very, very, very important step, identifying where your target market is. And two key factors here. You know, in that environment where you're talking to people who potentially have these pain points in a part of your market, is being able to have a casual introduction, being in an easy atmosphere. You want to be in good standing, have a very good reputation, and you want to make sure there's a high frequency of events. If you're able to go somewhere that has weekly meetings, that's even better. And a coach factor is you must be very comfortable coaching and speaking in that specialty area and have confidence. I marked out the word high confidence. You don't, as a coach, you don't have to have high confidence. You just must have confidence. And going back here to being very comfortable coaching and speaking in that area, it's very important that you are at ease when talking about coaching in an area. If you are a relationship coach and you don't like talking about relationships, it's going to be very hard for you to really be comfortable, because the client will feel your energy or lack of energy and excitement. Okay, so for your identified target market, any questions on these first two activities, identifying your target persona and identifying potential interaction opportunities? Okay, let's continue on. We have about 10 more minutes. So we now want to talk about target market penetration. So then how do you identify and penetrate your target market? Well, the first thing you have to do is develop a very confident ask statement. And what I mean by that is you have to get over the resistance of talking to your friends, families, and ex-colleagues and asking them for support. A lot of new coaches are very hesitant to go back and ask their friends for support. And the best network you have is a network of friends, family, ex-colleagues, because they do know you. And if you're in good standing, typically they will help you. So you have to get over that resistance and practice how you're going to ask them for their support and their help. And once you go back to the question earlier about how do you define coaching when somebody asks that, well, once you have your answer, practice, 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 practice. You have to be able to ask them with confidence. And what are you asking them for? You're going to contact your network and explain to them what you're doing and ask for referrals. You want to go to your network and say, do you have any friends who have a fear of speaking in public? Do you have any friends who have not been able to really manage relationships due to the fact that they're shy and don't know how to communicate? Typically, if they're your friends, they'll give you a name or two. And really, they'll do it because they want to help you and they feel like they're helping the other person as well. So you want to create an atmosphere where your friends feel that they're helping the referral by introducing them to you. And I'll say, once you contact that person, for that initial conversation, use real-time voice-to-voice communication. Do not contact your friends, family, and ex-colleagues via email. That first conversation, let it be voice-to-voice. Now, when you follow up, it can be via text and email, but that first conversation where you're asking them for your help, it should be voice-to-voice. Once you have gotten the referrals, the list of contact and names, it's important now to contact and really provide a win-win situation for the person you're helping. So let's go back to Sam. My friend Mike and Sam are very good friends. I share with Mike what I'm doing. Mike, I'm trying to develop a coaching niche, helping individuals who have challenges public speaking or maintaining relationships due to speaking. Do you know anybody who can use my help? Yes, I have a friend, Sam. He can use your help. Really, would you mind giving me the information and letting him know I'll contact him? Once you have that information, you then need to reach out to Sam and share with him what you're doing. Hey, Sam, my name is so-and-so. I am trying to develop a coaching practice specializing in communication and whatnot, and I'd like to get your time to interview you to learn more about what you're experiencing, right? And by being available to me, by helping me, you will get this. You always want to make sure they're getting something free. And typically, you'll give them a free 10 tips on how to improve communication, something that you can give away for free. When you have this conversation, you want to keep the call very short and stay in interview format. You're asking them questions and answers. Do not problem solve. This is not a coaching call, right? Sam may potentially be a client, but not in this call. In this call, you're interviewing him to learn more about the target client and target market. At the end, ask Sam for referrals who you can ask and provide a complimentary coaching session. This is very, very key. Very, very key. More than likely, Sam knows other individuals that have the same pain point he has. So you want to ask him to now refer you to them. Now, with those individuals, you're not asking for an interview. You're going to give them a complimentary coaching session. And oh, by the way, Sam may say, hey, can I have one also? Which is really a win-win. Now, once you have identified your target market, you now want to penetrate your target market. And we do that by developing and executing an awareness plan. You can also call this a marketing plan. The first activity is what we call proactive marketing, where you attend relevant events, You can facilitate workshops, webinars, and post articles. You're being very proactive. You're going places, you're doing things online, and you're talking to people. We also have casual marketing. Casual marketing is your website, is your online profile, your business cards, your adverts on social media, and potentially your answers on FAQ boards online. You want to be very proactive in marketing with your proactive marketing and your casual marketing. Remember, guys, when you talk with somebody and shake their hand, tell them your name, give them your WeChat, give them your business card, one of the first things they're going to do is do a Google search on you or a Bing search on you. So you want to make sure you have a website, online profile. You want to make sure you have information that they can find. It's even better if when they search for you, you have articles, right? You have events that you facilitated, and you have workshops. So you want to make sure that you have proactive marketing and what we call casual marketing. And then finally, it's very key to develop and iterate what I call a client acquisition flow. As you see here, these are my steps in attaining a new client. Now, your steps may be different. Whatever those steps are, you want to make sure that you understand what your client acquisition flow is. And that's very, very important, namely because you want to know which activities are you very good at? Which activities do you need to improve? So let's go through this very briefly. Attending an event. At the event, introduce yourself, shake hands. If you're having a good conversation, invite them to a complimentary coaching session. Immediately schedule that session. And then once that date comes, conduct that complimentary coaching session. And you guys know, of course, once you schedule it, it should be within 2 to 3 days from that initial meeting. Then at the end of the session, if a package was not purchased, you want to reflect on why, and revisit that client maybe 6-8 weeks later to check in, see how they're doing. If they did purchase the package, which is great, which is our goal, you then want to close the deal and obtain the fee. So once they've agreed to purchase the package, at the very same moment, you want to close the deal and obtain the fee. Don't wait 10 hours because minds will change. You also want to schedule your intake session or your first session. So this is my client acquisition flow. This allows me to see where I'm doing good and where I need to improve. So every coach needs to have their client acquisition flow. Okay, we are at the final slide, so let me stop here and ask any questions on any of the information I've shared.
Colin, you have 5 minutes left.
Thank you. Any information, any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a question?
Yeah, marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah, like the last slides you just shared. I think you're I saw you're a very doing person. Like you have everything like so step by step and a lot of do things. I wonder what is the like belief behind that. I don't think just you follow the step and you can succeed, or you do things, you succeed, things like that. How can you push yourself to keep moving on? I'm quite curious.
Right. I think, honestly, right, what motivates me is putting food on my table, feeding my family, right? So as you know, this is right. This is my business, right? This is what brings all of my income. So again, this is a business. So if I don't make sure I'm attracting new clients and making sure those clients are satisfied, I will not get business. I will not make money. So what motivates me to do this is the fact that I have to run a business and I have a very strong desire to succeed because what I'm doing is a personal passion of mine, which you know, right? So it's a mix of fun and hard work, but the motivation, again, is making sure that I can sustain a coaching practice and coaching business for years and years to come because I do not plan to go into another area.
Yeah, thank you. I will stay with you together.
Yeah, we are together.
Yeah.
So Colin, will you share the slides? If not, can I watch the one before this one?
Yeah.
reach out, referral, and provide absolute win-win. So this part I missed the part on absolute win-win.
So absolute
Win-win means for
yes. Okay.
your friend and their
Right.
referral.
Okay, for the referral. So the first part is practicing how you're going to talk to your friend. Number two is contacting your friends, right? Saying, look, I need your help. Can you refer me to somebody who I can interview to learn more about people in this area who are having this pain point? Once you actually make that connection, right? Once you actually talking to somebody, my example was somebody who is needs help in communication. Once you find that person, you must give them a reason to talk to you. Now, they're doing a favor for their friend, but you really must give them something for free, because if you give them something, they'll also look at you in a certain way as well, right? And quite frankly, because they're giving you a lot of valuable information, you want to make sure you reward that, right? Your friend gave them a referral, gave you a referral. You want to make sure you take care of the referral by making sure that because they're giving you information to build your business, they're going to benefit as well. That's a win-win, right? I'm winning by getting information, and they're winning by getting something for free. Does that make sense?
So the person getting free is the referral or your friend?
The referral.
Okay.
The referral.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. If they're going to, the conversation with your friend may take all of 5-10 minutes, but the person you're interviewing, that will be a longer call. That'll be about 30 minutes. And remember, you probably don't know them, or they don't know you. So due to that, you really want to make sure you really take care of them the first time they meet you. You want to make sure you really take care of them. Okay, make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. And remember, you're also going to be asking that person for their referrals as well. So if you took care of them, they're more likely to refer you because they believe you're going to take care of their friends also. Great. Okay. Any other questions? We are going a little bit long. Any other questions, guys? And if you do, please ask.
Colin, thank you for your presentation. My question would be, would you mind sharing what kind of events you attend? I know this is going to be different for different coaches. I mean, depending on your niche. Right. But I'm curious. I mean, this webinar can also be one of the events. But would you mind sharing other events that you attend for? Right.
Yeah. So this webinar is a perfect example of an event, right? Perfect example of an event. So now in WeChat there are groups for, my gosh, everything. And online, there's Meetup, right? So Meetup, there are groups for everything. So if you go into Meetup and type in public speaking, type in marathon training, type in learning language, type in wellness, living well, right? Type in moving to a new city, you'll find different groups. So Sasha, I think it's easy to find events. It's harder to go, right? Because sometimes we make excuses not to go. We're a little bit shy. And sometimes we think, well, I'm going to the event to learn about these people, not because I have this issue. So maybe I'm being a little bit inauthentic. Again, guys, I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it. This is a business. It's called market research, right? You want to find out where your people are that need your help, because as a coach, we have to have the mindset that we are helping people, right? Anybody we talk to, who's a client, will leave better off after talking to us. So let's go find more people who we can help, right? And help more people. Does that make sense, Sasha? Sasha, you there?
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
That makes sense. And another example is Toastmasters. I'm involved in Toastmasters here. I'm involved in so many different running groups, biking groups, training groups, and so things that I'm involved in. But it's very easy to find a lot of groups. And if you need some help, just let me know.
Thank you.
Right. Other questions? Okay. So, and I want you to, guys, know what your client acquisition flow is. It's very important to know the steps you take to get a client, to close the deal. So a quick review, to identify and penetrate your target market, determine and develop your coaching specialty or your niche area, very important. Create your target client persona, understand in detail who your target client is, identify your target market, where you find the majority, a lot of your target clients, and then network and socialize directly to your market. You cannot build a business behind a computer screen. You have to get out, talk to people, hand out business cards, slap backs, you know what I'm saying, have a drink with, and really get out there and meet people. And you need to meet them more than once, right? Meet them more than once, okay? If no more questions, I want to very quickly introduce a new portion of our webinars. We have a coach. This is now our Shanghai Life Coaching Collective member spotlight. We have Coach Ivana Pazik. Ivana became a law of attraction coach, life coach. With her profound yet simple teachings, have helped people from Japan to Nigeria and Germany to the U.S. to make their dreams, the dream lives, a reality. And she moved to Shanghai in 2018. Excuse me, I want to do a better job here. So Yvonne reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and told me about her book, Live Your True Calling, and from a job that's eating you alive to a job you alive to a life. From a job that's eating you alive to a life you love. And the title alone made me think. And I read this book, and I gotta say, this book is very powerful on two sides. On the coach's side, a lot of us had careers before. And a lot of us said, you know what, my career is okay, but I want to find something that I truly love doing. Some of us said, our career is not okay, and we want to find something that we love doing. So this book really showed the pattern that a lot of us coaches have taken. And if you're coaching or doing career coaching, a lot of your clients are right now in a job that's eating them alive. And this book gives you some very, very good tips on how to help your clients go from being in that unhealthy environment to a much more healthy environment and having a life that they love. So I think this book is very great. It's a very short read. It's not too big. You can read it in a week, but you get a lot of good tips here. It's written in story format. It follows a fairy tale, so it's very easy to follow along. And I think our Coach Ivana this is her second book, and she's done a very good job with this book. If you want to order, you can go to ivanabooks.com or contact me offline, and I'll put you in contact with Coach Ivana. But as coaches in this collective, it would be great if we all can help promote her book and help her really live her dream and get more people to order the book. Okay.
It's very, very helpful book.
Yeah. It's a good book. Yeah, it's a very good read.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap up here. So how to contact and join the Shanghai Life Coaching Collective. You have the information here for Coach Jody, Coach Elise, and myself. How to contact us on WeChat. For Coach Jody, JODY, 2, WIN. Coach Elise, Jessica LZ _. Coach Colin T, very simple here. We have a meetup group, which is www.meetup.com/Shanghai Life Coaching. But just go to Meetup and type in Life Coaching, you'll find us. And for WeChat, I am a Coach Colin T. Any questions or any other piece of information? I know we're over our 2-hour time period. Anything else before we wrap up the call?
I wonder, Colin, how long you have been doing coaching, like since when? And you were in IBM or like?
Yes, I started coaching in 2016 in IBM, doing agile coaching and learning how to be a personal coach within IBM as well. So it's been roughly about 3.5 years.
And how about Jody? Jody, you mute yourself.
Yeah. Actually, I learned the growth model in my previous job, and I was trainer for counselor workshop, coaching workshop, but that was more growth model. I don't think I really know coaching until 2015 when I formally hired my coach. She's also a corrective coach. And then I would say I really know coaching and do it like a professional third-party coach from this year. And before that, it was just in-house HR company, the internal coach, and more like growth model. So,
Yeah, and my first experience was with the grow model as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So collective really opened my mind, my eyes.
Finish the book yet, Grow Model.
Wow, so you have all the
Every
books.
book you're talking about. I didn't finish yet. Yeah.
You have all the books there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, we went over the time. We're gonna talk offline on how to improve upon our webinars to make sure we stay into the time period. I do want to respect everybody's time by not staying on too much longer. I want to personally, Coach Jody, Coach Elise, I want to thank you guys because you two are perfect examples of what we're trying to accomplish, not trying to accomplish, what we are accomplishing in the Shanghai Life Coaching Collective. We want coaches who are going to be active, right? Sharing, asking questions, making sure other folks are learning from us and that we're learning. We're not just sitting here in awe of anybody. We're challenging people and asking questions and getting better, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And Sasha, we look forward to you to literally start those actions to develop your coaching, right?
That's right. I didn't unmute myself.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So guys, we're gonna close the call here, and I will post this up in the next 2 days. And for Elise and Jody, I'll also cut your sessions and send those to you guys specifically as well.
Thank you.
Great.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and
Bye.
talk soon. Bye bye.
Colin. Bye.
Bye bye.